He's a he's got guns and he's got coded fucking VHS tapes. I would have went in a hazmat suit.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well. The majority will not.
Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment.
I know you haven't always loved the internet. How are you seeing progress right now with all of that? Can you use it to your advantage?
It's a double-edged sword.
There are many hidden secrets in the music industry, but when an insider comes forward with the truth, it shakes the world. Jaguar Wright has just dropped a bombshell. Why did Prince hate Jay-Z and Diddy? Was it just competition, or was there a deeper reason? Today, we analyze the full story.
He made waves in the music industry with the launch of Tidal, a subscription-based streaming service owned by artists. The details of the Tidal story are very interesting because it's pretty much a story of Jay-Z flipping a company. Jay-Z initially bought Tidal, which was then called Aspirio, in 2015 for $56 million. The company suffered financial losses in multiple quarters and even needed a $50 million loan from Jay-Z to keep operating. Despite all these challenges, Jay-Z was able to sell 86% of Tidal to Jack Dorsey, head of Block Inc. and former Twitter CEO, for $237 million. Many saw this move by Jack Dorsey as a horrible business move and even suggested he only did it because of his close relationship with Jay-Z. One NYU business professor even called the purchase a $300 million bar tab to hang out with Jay-Z. Either way, Jay walked away from this business venture with a good chunk of change. Remember, it pays to have relationships and don't burn bridges.
I feel like the 444 album is like this breakthrough into freedom for you personally and really for all of us. Nobody cared more about freedom that I know than Prince. And you give a shout out to Prince on the album, which really touched me. A lot of people don't know that you were his business partner. You were the last person he wanted to do business with. After he beat the music industry, he wanted to be with you. Tell us about the significance of that relationship between Prince Rogers Nelson and Sean Jay-Z Carter for you.
Really deep for me. It really was because, you know, just to watch this guy and how brave he was. This man put slave on his face at a time where we all were like, man, Prince is weird. And then to come to find out, oh, he was fighting for his masters the whole time. He was fighting for his freedom the whole time. And for him to come, he came to me. I didn't even have the nerve to call him and say, like, he came to me and said, I know what you're doing. I'm going to give you all of my work. Like a person who fought for their work their whole entire life to come to your office and say, I know what you're doing here. It was a really deep thing for me.
You just explained how you feel about him. I want to tell you how he felt about you, because, you know, I work with him very closely too. And he saw you as being the one who had finally beaten the system that had beat down black entertainers for, you know, a century. Mm-hmm. And, you know, for him, you know, he loved Egypt, and you talk about Egypt and when Africans were builders and owners and stuff, and he saw you in that line of a black builder and owner, and he wanted to make sure that, you know, you knew that he had your back. And, you know, for me to see a brother, he didn't just, he had love for everybody. He didn't have respect for everybody. He had respect for you, bro.
You know, you have to really think about why that is. Why does Tidal take so much criticism? Was the same thing that Spotify does. Costs the same much as Spotify. Oh, it's too expensive. It costs the same much as Spotify. Oh, it's the same as Apple Music. Oh, this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why is that?
You think it's personal?
To me?
Yeah.
No, I don't think anything's personal. I don't take anything as personal. It could be a lot of things. It could be, you know, I don't know. It could be like self-hate. We have that thing. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's like you doing like your own people doing. I've seen that happen. Like LeVar Ball. I like to talk about other people, so it's not a personal thing with me. LeVar Ball, he said, "I'm gonna start my own company." Everybody's like, "You should sign a Nike."
Yeah.
Now he may go about things wrong. He may have a big mouth.
With everything he says.
may rub everything, but I bought 3 pair. Why did I buy 3? I didn't get them. I didn't get them. You know what I'm saying? But that man has a vision of his own. Why wouldn't I support him?
Right.
Why wouldn't I support him? He feels like he can move culture, and his son got a big enough name and a big enough brand that they can do it.
Right.
Nike had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Why do we get so upset when us as a culture want to start our own? That is puzzling to me. Like I sit back and I'm like, this makes no sense. Like, why can't he start a sneaker? Oh, you dumb, sneakers are terrible. Well, there wasn't any more terrible than. And I don't want to remember. I'm not being negative towards anyone. I've seen some bad sneakers from Under Armour. I've seen some bad sneakers from. I've seen bad Michael Jordan sneakers. Horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Jordan obviously is the greatest at making. At some point, he was selling for Nike, and at some point, he broke away and he started building the Jordan brand. I'm sure that was difficult, and I'm sure people at that time when he was building the Jordan brand was like, "You playing yourself? You gonna leave Nike, man?" All due respect, fuck Nike, man, and I don't mean like personal. I mean fuck the thing. Like everyone has this reverence towards these things, like. You know, I'm sure when we walked in, we started Rock Nation, and everyone looked and said Universal or Def Jam, and like we built the brand. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't happen. We are culture. Nothing moves without us. We just continue to give it away, and it's cool. Everyone can participate. Nike still works with joy.
Right.
It's just the nature of our relationship has to change.
Who is Jaguar Wright? Jaguar Wright is a talented singer and industry insider known for exposing the dark secrets of the hip-hop and R&B industry. Her bold statements have made headlines before. But now, she has made another shocking revelation, this time about Prince.
You haven't always loved the internet. How are you seeing progress right now with all of that? Can you use it to your advantage?
It's a double-edged sword. You know, a lot of artists aren't getting paid full scale for their art, and the internet, because of downloading and things like that, is kind of like a black hole, and it's hard to audit, it's hard to get accounting, and it's not that it's just about the money, but it's about justice and fairness. And when people say that they love you and they respect you, but at the same time take, you know, 80% of your earnings, then expect you to fix your own communities, and they'll probably edit all of this out, but then it gets, that's the sharp part of the sword, and we're at the wrong end of it right now. So eventually, with courageous people going out there and actually saying something and standing up for it, I think we'll get some balance.
What was it that you were listening to in music today that made you say, I've got to put some more stuff out there, you have to do this?
Mainly I sensed a great deal of negativity and entropy in the music. There's a disintegration going on that we really have to address. And our values have been lessened to a great degree. VH1's been pretty cool. They don't show too much craziness on their channel, but other Viacom channels do. So I think that we should address this as a community as to what it's doing to the culture. People can say all they want to, that there's no reason for these kids to listen to music and then go shoot somebody. But, you know, there's something that's triggering these buttons.
Do you feel responsible as an artist for what you're putting? Do you think that other people do?
No, I don't.
You talk about music that's going out there right now. Are you talking about any particular type of music that you don't think is such a positive influence?
Well, it's very obvious when you hear words and lyrics, whether they enlighten or discourage.
Okay, so hip-hop gets slammed a lot. Marilyn Manson gets slammed, Korn gets slammed. A lot of those acts that are, you know, out there putting, is that what we're talking about?
It's not what I'm talking about.
No?
I'm just talking about the truth.
Just general?
Yeah. The truth is that you either are here to enlighten or discourage.
Do you feel like you obviously, you've grown a lot and you've changed since 1982 and the 80s when you were putting out music, but you were always thought of as somebody who was putting out extremely music. Mm-hmm. Is that a problem to you, or are you talking more about the profanity?
Yeah, it's not bad.
No.
I'm talking about it's very spiritual in nature, and that's a God-given gift too. I'm talking about just plain disintegration, where you're not even speaking the truth anymore, and the violent imagery that's permeated the society and our music now. And sampling is getting to the point where it's out of hand too. I mean, pretty soon we'll be sampling the sample that was already sampled.
Somebody was joking saying Mariah Carey had sampled herself on the latest album. How do you measure your success?
By, who's the rapper? Masterpiece said, "Only God can judge me." There it is. Only God can judge me.
All right. Good. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's not your game. You didn't make the rules, so everything comes hard. As long as you're signed to a contract, you're going to take a minority share of the winnings. A select few of us will do well. The majority will not. So as a people, we'll be considered a minority. But stop. Let's take a moment and look at yourselves. There's nothing minor about you. You are a blessed people. You're the most talented on earth, and you are still grateful. That is why upon winning in their game, you always thank God. Tonight I would like to ask one favor of you. Imagine what will...
Prince's legacy and vision. Prince was not just a musician, but a revolutionary artist. His focus was not only on music, but also on dismantling unfair contracts and artist exploitation in the industry. He was a strong advocate for music ownership and independence, which often put him at odds with major record labels and industry moguls.
Such a big deal back then is ever since my third album, I wasn't really taking large advances from the recording companies. I was recording the albums myself in my own studio. So the way I looked at it, I owned the work because I paid for it. And I did all the work. I created it, so I felt like it should belong to me. That said, the companies felt otherwise. And they would always hold this contract up and say, well, you signed it. And I say, well, I understand that. It's not like I want to leave. I just want to, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist. And that's kind of the situation.
Again, I don't know how he grew up, but like I said before, you be so excited to get this money you never seen before, money you thought you would never see, and all you got to do is sign your name and it's yours. But a lot of people don't really read the fine prints. They kind of just and then they sign, like, give me my money. Next thing you know, this contract you in, you can't get out of, and it's all these, things that you didn't know was gonna be in there. Yeah, and then guess what? You don't own the rights to your music. Yeah.
We're in Wright today. They're not gonna exist much longer. But it's not like we're against them or anything like that. The idea is that we find better ways of working with one another. It shouldn't be a situation where they own the album or the work. We're talking about intellectual copyright. If they're going to be indeed a delivery service, then that's fine. But even FedEx doesn't say that they own the thing that they ship.
Number two, Prince actually lent his house to Diddy for his parties, but he never attended the parties himself because allegedly Prince had his suspicions about what Diddy was doing with the freak-offs.
Yeah, the first Diddy party I went to was
Wait, what? At Prince's house? Oh no. Well, I mean, rest in peace to Prince. Oh man. This is Jason Lee talking right here.
He never attended the parties himself because, allegedly, Prince had his suspicions about what Diddy was doing with the freak-offs.
Yeah, the first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Number 3, Prince's estate was also involved in a lawsuit with Jay-Z, who happened to be very tight with Diddy before his lawsuit.
I had searched deep within my heart and spirit, and I wanted to make a change and move to a new plateau in my life. And one of the ways in which I did that was to change my name. It sort of divorced me from the past and all the hang-ups that go along with it, as it's been well chronicled in deep dispute with my record label. And
Which is Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah. We had some issues that were basically about ownership of the music and how often I was supposed to record and things like that. I really searched deep within to find out the answer to whether fame was most important to me or my spiritual well-being, and I chose the latter.
How Jay-Z and Diddy became industry moguls. Jay-Z and Diddy are among the most powerful businessmen in the music industry. Both built billion-dollar empires through their labels and brands. But at what cost? Did they use their power to support artists, or was it solely about increasing their own wealth?
It's Tyrese. Tyrese, come and steal this so you can put some kind of common sense in her so she won't let this turn her baby into a child. Tyrese took your gave her some goddamn good and common sense.
Okay, Jag. Well, this is the last question we're gonna ask you, Jag. Then we're gonna get up out of here, and we're gonna see you in Dallas pretty soon.
Yeah. Hopefully this time I won't get arrested again.
Right.
You know, it's me and Odell's 6-month anniversary coming up.
Right. That's perfect.
No.
Definitely.
No, guess what we're doing for our 6-month anniversary? Yes!
What's that?
Housewarming.
That's what's up.
Oh my God. So what was that last question?
Okay. Damon Dash.
Yeah, what about it?
What is your thoughts on everything that he said now since his interviews have came out and he's speaking and now he has to look at a couple things since things have went viral and got mainstream attention? What are your thoughts on Damon Dash? Thoughts?
I suggest he helped me complete my wish list and come and sit on that blue couch.
So speaking of Diddy, he got met with another lawsuit today. It's about him waving.
He gonna get his ass beat in every week.
Right, like he was waving a gun in a car chase this time.
He's the diddler.
Do you think he did everything? All these
He's
things?
He's the diddler. He's the devil. Didn't I say it?
Yeah, you said this.
I told y'all when I was wearing the Sex Face t-shirt and my fatigues, our first big 1 million view interview in 3 weeks. Remember the first time on the blue couch? And I said, I hate talking about all of these things, and I pray to God his kids doesn't hear it, but their father is the devil. Was I exaggerating? 2 years later?
No, not at all. So,
let me ask you this, Jag. Why do you think Diddy's kids spoke out publicly?
What choice do they have?
Even I think one of the sons did a rap, and he's like,
what choice do they have? When you're dealing with the kind of narcissistic control freak that Diddy is, and you raise children under that, the financial for all of them is probably the worst. Because there's no way they can make money without him. He has them locked in. And if he falls, who's going to hire them? Who's going to fund them? Who's going to look out for them? No one. Right. No one. They're not fighting for their father. They're fighting for their survival. What they all gonna do? Go work at the Good Burger or the Wahlburger? What they gonna do?
Right. This is
what they gonna go? They gonna go and open up a bunch of very unusually small chicken thigh restaurants with the rosé.
His reputation is tarnished.
His reputation is tarnished. They're also being implicated in some of his crimes. They will be pariahs. They're going to be worse off than OJ's.
Prince's view on Jay-Z Prince never supported corporate control or the commercialization of the music industry. When Jay-Z launched Tidal, Prince was initially interested. However, he later had doubts about whether Jay-Z's platform was genuinely for the benefit of artists or just another business strategy.
Oh, Diddy mom is being accused of helping Diddy steal money. It's a guy named D1 that's suing it.
I think that they accusing Diddy mom of stealing anything is wrong. All she did was allow him to put certain things in her name to protect. If at any time, because of some of the things that he was doing and the nature of what he was doing and he knew he was doing to people, if he ever sued, he'd probably be safe having money and things in her name. Do you understand that? See, I don't believe Miss Combs gave that stuff up a long time ago when she used to do her little modeling thing with her little ladies of the night, the little wild parties. When she gave that up, I don't think she was in the business. I don't think she was in the business to know exactly where the money's going, how's coming in, who she taking it from. He was just doing it and putting it and had the authority to put it in her name. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, but let me ask you this. Do you think she knew what he was doing?
I believe she knew he was doing the freak-offs, but do I believe she knew he was allocating different monies to different places and which way it was going, which offshore accounts, which Swiss banks accounts and all this shit was going in? Nah. I think she just was enjoying the fruits of the labor.
But why you believe she knew about the freak-offs?
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting the IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that, yep.
That's from the Diddy freak off party. And I'm gonna say alleged.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her at one point, you knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that, you know, will be a part of a freak off or no?
I think that she liked to party, and she party with young people. She's always been like that. She always copied or emulated Little Kim and Mary J. Blige. Or they emulated her. The blonde hair, the nails, the high boots, the age-appropriate, inappropriate clothing that I want to say, because I know people going to drag me through it. What you mean? She's 70, 80 years old. She don't have to wear no, she can wear hot pants if she want to. Okay, all right. You can't make nothing dust moist.
Was she a freak?
I don't want to speak about that man mama like that, bruh. Was his mama a freak? I don't know that about her. But if she was that Diddy freak off at 70 years old, she was just like the rest of them. The freaks come out at night. I don't know that about his mother, man. I know she used to date young guys, but that don't make her a freak. They call her a cougar. Right? That's not a freak, that's a...
Well, unfortunately, like I said, music industry isn't being run by musicians. So it's being run by accountants and lawyers. So I don't know if they'd know real music if they heard it. What they're looking for is acts that are going to make the most money for them. So you'll see all kinds of little gimmicks, so to speak. And ultimately, real music is just about a microphone and a spotlight. If you can get over like that and bring the special effects within your body, you know, then I think you're gonna have a lot.
The conflict between Prince and Diddy is a businessman and influencer who dominates both the music and fashion industries. But Prince believed that moguls like Diddy were merely profiting from artists' talent without genuinely promoting their artistry. This fundamental difference in ideology led to friction between them. What Prince said about industry contracts: Prince once famously said, "If you don't own your masters, your master owns you." This statement reflects his strong stance on artist independence. He believed that business figures like Jay-Z and Diddy were part of a system designed to control artists rather than empower them. Jaguar Wright's shocking claims: according to Jaguar Wright, Prince privately despised the manipulative tactics used in the industry. She claims that Prince saw Diddy and Jay-Z not as champions of artists, but as businessmen benefiting from the very system he fought against. Was Tidal really artist-friendly? When Jay-Z launched Tidal, it was marketed as a revolution for artists. But was it truly in their best interest, or was it just another billionaire's business venture? What did Prince really think about it? What happened to Prince's legacy after his death? After Prince's unexpected death, what happened to his music rights and masters? Did the industry follow his vision, or did they turn his legacy into another profit-driven machine? What else has Jaguar Wright exposed? This is not the first time Jaguar Wright has revealed industry secrets. She has previously raised questions about Diddy and Jay-Z's empire. Are her claims true, or is this just another attempt to create controversy? Jay-Z and Diddy's response: have Jay-Z and Diddy ever responded to Prince's opinions? Did they ever react to Jaguar Wright's statements? And if so, what did they say? Clip 13. Fan and music industry reactions. How is social media reacting to these revelations? Are people supporting Prince's views, or are they siding with Jay-Z and Diddy? Prince was an artist who lived for music, not for business. Did Jay-Z and Diddy truly exploit the industry, or is this just another conspiracy theory? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.